business owner, and in this day and age, most likely you have a computer that you use for some aspect of your business, or you might even have staff or team members who have computers that have files for your business on it. So something that is really critical is to have backups of all your computer files. But in this video, I want to talk a little bit deeper, not just of backups, but some extra steps you can do for some added security if you should lose all your computer files. Now, last week I was involved in a car accident. I'd been to an event, a weekend event, I had an absolute ball of a time, was on my way home on the Monday evening and another car hit me. Apparently they just didn't see me. They hit me, pushed me into another car, and although I'm pretty much okay, the other drivers weren't hurt. I just got some minor bruises and minor injuries, but my car didn't fare so well. So I'm without a car for 3 weeks at least, and unfortunately my computer didn't fare so well. It was in the area that bore the brunt of the first impact, and although it looked okay, it didn't work anymore. The hard drive didn't really like the jolts that it got. So I was able to get it fixed. I had a new hard drive put in. That's all very good, but all my files had been lost from that hard drive. So thankfully I've got an online backup system. Now, if you do your backups manually, that's all very well, but it's very time consuming. And I'd been so busy that if I was doing manual backups, I probably wouldn't have all my files. Thankfully, I had online backups, and I use a service called Carbonite, but there are plenty of other online backup systems as well that are really good. That meant that when the new hard drive was put in, I reinstalled the software that I had on my previous hard drive, and then I was able to do a simple restore of my backup files, and they were all downloaded to my computer for me, good as new. So that was one thing that I didn't have to worry about. The other thing though is that as well as all my files, I had a lot of programs, so different software, and a lot of those programs had license keys. And if you're just moving from one computer to another, you can usually see what's on the old computer, install it on the new one, go and find the license keys, not too much of a problem at all. In my case, I didn't have the old version to look at, so I was going by memory on what programs I had to reinstall, and thankfully I got them all pretty quickly. But it would have been much easier if I had a list of those that I could refer to. And so that's what I'm going to do in future, is keep a list. In fact, I've done it now. I've got a list of all the programs, so that when I do have to reinstall the software and programs and so on my computer, I can easily just go down the list and reinstall those. The other thing is the license keys for all that software. I had them on my old computer, so it wasn't too much of a problem, but I had to wait till all my files had been restored from the backup before I could access a lot of the license keys and use the software that I'd just reinstalled back on. It was a little bit of a pain going through and searching through the previous orders and emails and so on to get those details. And so again, what I've done is I now have one document with the list of the programs I need to install, but also the license keys for those programs. I've got those all in one place, but I've got a separate backup of it. So as well as being on my computer and in my online backup files, I've got another backup on a CD in my office. So that makes it a lot easier should I have the problem in the future where I need to replace a hard drive. Even just moving from one computer to a new computer, it's going to be so much easier to reinstall everything and get it set up and working the way I like it to. So that's something I'd like you to do. If you know you're not up to date with your backups, investigate that in the next week. Give yourself a deadline to do that and commit to it, because sometimes you don't have warning on when your hard drive's going to go, or some other computer problem, and it can save you a lot of hassle if you know that you've got all the files, that you haven't actually lost any. Yeah, it's still frustrating, it's still a bit of an inconvenience having to restore everything, but at least you've got all those important files. And let's face it, if this is a business that you're running, and you've got client files or you've got the details of products that you've had created and things like that, you really don't want to be losing those files. I hope that helped, and if you like this business tip and you're not already subscribed for updates, please do so now, and that way you won't miss any future videos. Now, if you're not already on DonnaMarieCoggins.com, head over there now and subscribe for weekly updates so that you can receive an email each time we have a new video to share with business tips to help you design a profitable business that fits your lifestyle. Bye for now.